There are moments when you don't feel sad, angry, or even tired, just heavy. As if something invisible is clinging to you. Your body feels slower. Your thoughts feel crowded. Even rest doesn't fully restore you. Most people try to explain this logically: stress, lack of sleep, routine. But deep down, you sense it's more than that. It's energetic weight. And if you've ever walked into a room and instantly felt drained, or left a conversation feeling inexplicably exhausted, you already know this kind of heaviness is real. We absorb more than we realize. Other people's emotions. Environments charged with tension. Unspoken conflicts. Expectations we carry but never asked for. Over time, this accumulation doesn't just affect your mood, it affects your clarity, your motivation, even how you see yourself. That's why sometimes no amount of rest fixes it. Because what you need isn't sleep. It's released. Across many ancient traditions, water was never just used to clean the body. It was used to reset the spirit. Long before modern wellness trends, people understood that water carries memory, intention, and movement. A bath wasn't indulgence. It was maintenance. A way to shed what didn't belong to you before it became illness, confusion, or emotional numbness. Think about how you feel standing under a shower after a long, overwhelming day. That moment when the water hits your shoulders and you exhale without realizing you were holding your breath. That's not imagination. That's your nervous system responding to release. Now imagine amplifying that effect, not with anything complicated or mystical, but with intention, awareness, and a few elements that work together to pull heaviness out instead of letting it sink deeper. This bath isn't about escaping your problems. It's about clearing the energetic fog so you can face life without carrying unnecessary weight. And the reason it works so quickly is simple: the body understands water instinctively. You don't need to believe in anything specific. You only need to allow the process. Before we go deeper, take a second to pause and notice how you feel right now. Not what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Tight chest? Heavy shoulders? Restless mind? If so, this is for you. And if you appreciate content that helps you reconnect with yourself on a deeper level, subscribe to the channel and leave a like. It supports this work and helps it reach people exactly when they need it. The heaviness you carry is rarely yours alone. That's an important realization. Many people blame themselves for feeling drained, unmotivated, or off balance. But energy doesn't ask permission. It transfers through proximity, attention, and emotional openness. Empathetic people, especially, tend to carry far more than they should. They listen. They support. They hold space. And without release, they become containers for everything others don't process. This bath works because it creates a boundary. A clear signal to your body and subconscious that what isn't yours must leave. It's not aggressive. It's gentle. But it's firm. In the next part, I'll walk you through how this bath works on a deeper level, why certain elements are used, how timing affects the release, and what subtle signs tell you the heaviness is actually leaving. What makes this bath so effective isn't superstition or ritual for the sake of ritual. It's the way it speaks directly to systems inside you that words and logic can't reach. Your body doesn't process stress only as thoughts, it stores it in muscles, breathing patterns, posture, and even temperature. That's why emotional weight often shows up physically as tight shoulders, shallow breathing, or constant fatigue. Water, especially when combined with specific elements and intention, interrupts that pattern. Salt is the first key. Across cultures, salt has always been associated with purification, not symbolically, but functionally. It draws out. It absorbs. When added to water, it creates a subtle pull, not just on the skin, but on the nervous system. Think of how the ocean feels different from a pool. Heavier. More grounding. Your body recognizes that density and responds by releasing tension it didn't even know it was holding. Warmth is the second element. A warm bath signals safety. It tells your body that it doesn't need to stay alert, guarded, or defensive. Many people live in a constant low-grade fight-or-flight state without realizing it. Even during rest, their system is on standby. Warm water lowers that internal alarm. Muscles soften. Breathing deepens. The mind slows down not because you force it to, but because the body gives it permission. Now comes the part most people skip: intention. Not affirmation. Not positive thinking. Intention is quieter than that. It's simply clarity. Before entering the bath, you acknowledge one thing: I am releasing what is not mine to carry. You don't need to name everything. In fact, it's better if you don't. Overanalysis keeps heaviness stuck. Instead, you let the body do what it knows how to do when given the right environment. Here's an example. Someone comes home after days of emotional friction at work. Nothing dramatic happened, but every interaction required restraint. By the time they're alone, they feel irritable, numb, and exhausted. They run the bath, add salt, sit down, and within minutes they feel a wave of emotion rise, sometimes sadness, sometimes anger, sometimes nothing but a deep sigh. That release isn't weakness. It's recalibration. The body unloading excess charge. Another example: people who struggle with racing thoughts at night. They try meditation, breathing exercises, even distractions, but the mind stays loud. When they take this bath in the evening, something shifts. Not because the thoughts disappear, but because the urgency behind them dissolves. Thoughts lose their grip. The body settles first, and the mind follows. Timing matters, but not in a rigid way. This bath is most effective when you feel energetically contaminated, after being around conflict, crowded environments, emotionally demanding conversations, or periods of prolonged stress. It's also powerful before sleep, when the subconscious is more receptive and the nervous system naturally wants to slow down. While you're in the bath, don't scroll. Don't analyze. Don't rehearse conversations. Let your attention rest on physical sensation: the warmth, the water, your breathing. If emotions surface, let them pass without naming them. If nothing surfaces, that's fine too. Release doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it feels like quiet neutrality returning. You may notice subtle signs afterward: lighter limbs, clearer breathing, calmer thoughts, or simply the sense that something has been set down. That's how you know it worked. Energy doesn't announce its exit. It just leaves space behind. If this explanation is helping you understand your own heaviness more clearly, take a moment now to like the video and subscribe. It supports content that goes beyond surface-level fixes and encourages real internal balance. In the final part, I'll guide you through the exact steps of the bath, how often to use it, and what to avoid so the release doesn't reverse. Now that you understand why this bath works, let's bring everything together in a way that feels simple, grounded, and natural, something you can actually return to whenever the weight starts building again. You don't need elaborate ingredients. You don't need a perfect setup. What matters most is consistency and presence. Begin by preparing a warm bath, not hot, not cold. Warm enough that your body can relax without strain. As the water fills the tub, add a generous amount of salt. Sea salt is ideal, but regular salt works too. This isn't about perfection, it's about creating an environment that supports release. Before you step in, pause for a moment. Place one hand on your chest, the other on your abdomen. Take a slow breath in through your nose, and let it out gently through your mouth. Then, silently set a simple intention: I release what no longer belongs to me. That's it. No force. No emotional performance. Just clarity. When you enter the bath, allow yourself to sink slowly. Let the water support you. This is important: support. Many people live in a constant state of holding themselves together. This bath is where you don't have to. Keep your shoulders submerged if possible, as this is where stress and emotional weight tend to collect. Stay in the bath for about 15 to 20 minutes. You don't need to count. Let your body decide when it's enough. During this time, focus on sensation rather than thought. Notice the warmth. Notice your breathing slowing. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your body. No judgment. No correction. Just return. If emotions arise, don't suppress them, and don't amplify them either. Let them move through like waves. Sometimes release shows up as a deep exhale. Sometimes as tears. Sometimes as nothing but stillness. All of it is valid. All of it is movement. When you feel ready to step out, do it slowly. As the water drains, imagine the heaviness leaving with it. Again, no visualization gymnastics. Just a quiet knowing. Afterward, rinse briefly in the shower if you feel the urge, or simply towel off gently. Avoid rushing back into stimulation. Give yourself at least a few minutes of quiet, and many people notice that sleep comes easier after this bath. Dreams may feel more vivid. Waking up may feel clearer. These are signs that your system has reset, even if you can't intellectually explain it. For frequency, once or twice a week is enough for most people. During particularly heavy periods, you can do it more often. Just listen to your body. This isn't something to overuse. Release works best when paired with awareness, not compulsion. What should you avoid? Don't take this bath while emotionally charged with anger or resentment. Those states push energy outward instead of releasing it. If you're feeling intense emotion, give yourself time to calm first. Also, avoid immediately engaging with stressful conversations, social media, or loud environments afterward. Let the reset settle. This bath doesn't replace action, boundaries, or change, but it makes all of those easier. When heaviness is gone, clarity returns. And clarity changes how you move through the world. If this practice resonates with you and you feel lighter just hearing about it, imagine what it can do when you experience it yourself. This is your reminder that release doesn't have to be dramatic. Sometimes, it's quiet, warm, and deeply human. If this video helped you, this is the final moment to support the channel. Subscribe, leave a like, and share this with someone who's been carrying too much lately. You never know who needs permission to finally let go. You don't need to carry everything. Let the water take what isn't yours.